What I want to suggest to you today from the life of Elijah is that the amount of the supernatural you get to see will be directly related to the level of your spiritual commitment. That if you are a part-time Christian, don't expect full-time miracles. We have discovered already that Israel is dealing with a problem that brought the prophet Elijah on the scene in the first place. And that is their attraction to idols. They were attracted to Baal and Asherah, Baal's girlfriend, the idols that had now consumed the culture, even those who named the name of God. So that is idolatry. You just have an American idol. Just look at what's happening in the culture and you gravitate to that, whether it's people or power or possessions or whether it's prestige, whatever it is, you are looking to that thing as the source of your provision. Now, when you understand that is the biblical definition of idolatry, then you understand that you can be right here, right now, today, and be an idol worshiper. We come in chapter 18, and we come to a place where now the prophet Elijah confronts King Ahab. He confronts King Ahab, and he confronts him in chapter 18, verse 17. And when Ahab saw Elijah, Ahab said to him, "Is this you, you troubler of Israel?" In other words, you getting on my nerves, Ahab says. "Is this you, Elijah, you bringing all this trouble to Israel?" Elijah responds in verse 18, "I have not troubled Israel, but you and your father's house have, because you have forsaken the commandment of the Lord and you have followed the Baals." You follow the idols. So he refuses to be politically correct. He says, "Ahab, you have brought this about because of your pursuit of idolatry. You've caused the heavens to shut up. It's no longer raining. The culture's in trouble because you have pursued another god." One of the reasons you're seeing all of this chaos around us, even in our culture and in our country, is because we have forsaken the Lord our God. America right now is undergoing what you might call the passive wrath of God. Romans chapter 1 talks about the passive wrath of God. It says, because they have no longer retained the knowledge of God, God turned them over. That is, he released them to the consequences of your choices. So therefore, what you and I are experiencing today, not only on a national level, but even on a personal level, is God giving you what you want, a life without him. But you have to understand, when God gives you what you want, a life without him, there are deleterious consequences that come with that. And what you and I are experiencing today is God saying, "You don't want me? Let me get out of the way and let me show you life without me." And so you have the consequence of the removal of God. So Elijah says, "Now send and gather to me all of Israel at Mount Carmel." Verse 19, "Together with 450 prophets of Baal and 400 prophets of Asherah," that's 850, "who eat at Jezebel's table." He says, okay, let's have a fight at the OK Corral. Okay, you bring your people and your God, and I'll be there at high noon. Okay, let's settle this once and for all. Let's don't confuse people. Let's put this thing out on the table. So Ahab says, "Okay, you got a deal. Let's go for it." So Ahab sent, verse 20, a message among all the sons of Israel and brought the prophets together at Mount Carmel. Now watch this, because this is where we start. Verse 21. "Elijah came near to all the people and said, 'How long will you hesitate between two opinions? If the Lord is God, follow him. But if Baal, follow him. But the people did not answer him a word. But Baal's prophets are 450 men. Elijah says, I'm outnumbered, 450 to 1. I'm out here by myself because the rest of y'all folk not supporting me. Y'all just saying amen. You ain't behind me. Y'all just, he said, so I'm out here stuck by myself and I got 450 of their prophets. But since this is not a popularity contest, since this is not to see how the numbers fare in my favor, I'm ready to take my stand. God is looking for some folk who, even though outnumbered, are willing to take their stand. Who, even though the other side has more than you, even though it looks like you're outnumbered among your friends, among your co-workers, or what have you, you are willing to be known as a follower of Jesus Christ. You are no longer going to be a secret agent Christian, a spiritual CIA representative, a covert operative. He said, this is how the numbers shape up. But in spite of that, we're going to put the true God to the test. He says, why don't you bring, verse 23, 2 oxen, and let the 450 choose 1 oxen, and I'll take whichever one they don't choose, put it on the wood, put it on the altar, but don't put a fire under it. And then you 450, you call on the name of your God and tell your God, light the fire. Okay? Tell your God, be the Ohio players, fire. Okay, tell your God to light it up. And then I'm going to call on my God. And let's see whose God is the God of fire. So they agree. He is so confident in his commitment to God that that he will challenge the majority.